Hello, everyone. I welcome you all into today's session where we are going to go ahead and talk about what data science is all about. And we are going to go ahead and explore the art of storytelling using Power BI. Okay. So I can already see the enthusiasm buzzing today in the virtual room. And that's not only because of all the thumbs up that I'm seeing, all the messages that I'm seeing in my chat. It's just with the mere fact that all of you decided to go ahead and dedicate 3 hours today on this Saturday for a boot camp. And that is not a small feat. You could be doing so many other things right now, partying, spending time with your family, so many things. But you decided to go ahead and spend this Saturday into learning something new, into upskilling yourself, investing in your future. So, first of all, kudos to that. Give a round of applause to yourself. And how about some thumbs up for all of you in this room itself? Awesome. Now, we won't be making big promises, but by the end of this workshop, all of you should be able to understand how Power BI works. How can you use the AI feature or the Copilot features to generate insights, summaries, and visuals instantly using Power BI? Discover the key differences with key influencers, break down the data interactivity using decomposition, create automated explanations with smart narratives, ask questions using natural language, and uncover patterns with AI insights. You guys will be able to design dashboards that are clear, engaging, and they go ahead and tell the story. But before we begin, here's a question for all of you. Have you fully dedicated yourself to this transformative experience? Well, remember, guys, the best investment that anybody can make is in himself. Okay. And today, you guys have taken that step. So let's sow together. Now, people who have attended our boot camps in the past and have paid attention have gone on to land full time jobs, part time jobs, start their own entrepreneurship ventures, and even moved into consulting. So, irrespective of the reason why you joined the workshop today, we can guarantee that we will go ahead and give you the right hope, direction, and a clear action plan for embarking on a high paying career journey. Now, some of you might be interested in getting the logistics, that is, the certificates. So, certificate will be issued to everybody who is attending the workshop. All you have to do is make sure that you go ahead and attend the entire boot camp. And we also want you to share your experience via LinkedIn. See, learning is not enough until and unless you go ahead and put it into practice. It's all in vain. We are going to do some quick Power BI dashboard creations for you today. I will go ahead and share the data with you guys that we are going to be using. I want all of you to go ahead and design your own dashboard at the end. Share it on LinkedIn and feel free to tag us. Okay? This is when your workshop will be complete, when you showcase to the world that you have acquired a skill. Okay? We'll talk more about it as we move forward. Having said that, it is important that you guys go ahead and clear your schedule and fully immerse yourself into today's transformative experience because this boot camp deserves your undivided attention to grasp what we are about to share. Now, just a bit of housekeeping before we begin. Please make sure all of you attended from your laptop, not your phone, to make the best out of it. Please mark everyone when you are typing in the chat. Okay, I have enabled the chat right now for everyone to make sure that this workshop feels more inclusive than rather you watching a Netflix movie. Okay, so Feel free to type in your messages in the chat. Jessica, you can use Samsung tablet. That is no problem. To make sure that there is no distraction, close the other 20 browsers that are open right now on your computer. Okay. Make sure that your full focus is on this Zoom right now. Browse and click on emojis. Remember, guys, emojis are the fuel that we run on. Okay. And you can go ahead and keep throwing emojis at us. Okay. There is not going to be any shortage of this fuel for sure. Okay. Keep throwing those emojis at us. We want to make sure that all of you go ahead and participate. And please ask your kids not to kill themselves for the next few hours because, as I said, we require your undivided attention and make sure you have room for next 3 hours. Now, we have some great insights for today's super special boot camp, and we are going to share multiple insights with you, which will help you jumpstart your career. Now, I will be your host for the day. Some of you perhaps know me from previous workshops or if you have done any courses with us. My name is Sanket Chikkar. I am the head of business operations at Exaltius Academy. And in the past decade, I have helped more than 10,000 people pivot their career into the space of technology. For my work, I was awarded by Fox India as one of the 100 most influential people under the age of 40. I am also one of the top 50 leaders in India 2024 with the award for Young Leader of the Year, Data Science and Cybersecurity. I also work for Central Africa, especially people from Nigeria and Kenya, perhaps know, with your governments, for United Nations as a part of AI for Developing Countries Forum, where I go ahead and work on ethical use of AI. Uh, I also have multiple awards coming in from International Excellence Award, AI and Machine Learning Excellence, Business Leadership Award, Global Business Leadership Award. But perhaps the most important thing that I have gained is the love of all of you guys who go ahead and want to make a change and who want to go ahead and pivot their career into the space of technology. I will be hosting today's session with Amresh Sahu. Amresh is a senior corporate trainer with Exaltius, and he's going to bring with him more than 15 years of experience with his specialization in AI, automation, data-driven system, emerging technologies, and many more. He has also trained thousands of professionals, teams, and learners across diverse backgrounds and has strong focus on practical implementation and real-world use cases. So I present to you a guy who has made good name both in the industry and in the academics, and I will go ahead and pass on the torch to him so that we can go ahead and take this session forward. How about some thumbs up for Amrish, all of you? Amrish, I hope you can hear us loud and clear.
Yes, Sanket. Thank you. Thanks a lot for this welcome. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing fine. So, okay. So we are all set for a very interesting session today. And I hope you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Thank you. Thanks a lot. All right. So we are going to start off with something very interesting. And today we have got a very interesting topic that is data science. And we will be exhibiting some, or maybe you can say some demonstration of Power BI and how it works and how it can be helpful for you to make a career in future. It can be in any field. You may be belonging to any field with any background, doesn't matter. Data is everywhere. All right. So before starting off, I will be sharing my screen just to get a head start of what's coming up. And then we will be jumping into the hands-on. So give me a sec. Let me make it full screen. Hold on. Okay, I think I need to switch. Yeah. Okay, so I think everything is clear and visible to all of you. Let me just go final check. Yeah, it's fine. All right, so I will be asking you a lot of questions. It will be a very interactive session. You don't think that, okay, you're going to watch a Netflix movie, as Sanket said. For the next 2 hours, I will be asking you a lot of questions and we will be having a lot of interaction. Okay. Now, before moving on to the topic today, like there's one thing which everyone is aware of. Everyone knows data is the new fuel. How many of you agree with me on this? Give me a thumbs up. Data is the new fuel. Yeah, there's a lot of fighting going on over oil, but yeah, data is the new oil. There's also a lot of fighting going on data. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is data is very, very important in today's date. And if you know, so first of all, if you have control over data, you have got some superpowers. And if you know how to process the data, that is again a very, very important skill. What we are going to learn today, or what we are going to understand today, is how to process data and use it to our advantage, right? So moving on, if I ask you a very, very simple question, what is, you've heard about data, of course. If I ask you a very simple question, what is data science? Anyone? Let me know in the chat. Use the chat section. Don't try to chat GPT it. Just in your own language, can you tell me what is data science? Anyone? I'm waiting for your answers in the chat. Okay, analytics, study of data. Very good. Any more answers? Use of data to achieve desired results. Wonderful, Kennedy. Raw data to output, machine learning, algorithms. Oh my God, some very heavy words out here. But yeah, what I would like to say is data science is a very important skill. Data analytics, you can say. Data analytics is a very, very important skill that if you're having that, you can definitely make a very good career, right? So data is everything and it powers everything we do, as we all know. Okay. So starting from mobile GPS, mobile maps, GPS, online shopping, e-commerce, urban planning, development, efficient energy consumption, data-driven decisions, etc., etc., etc. Everywhere we have data. Now, coming to the term which I just told you, that is data science. Data science is not just analyzing data, but there's a lot of thing into it. Okay, we'll start off with data analytics and slowly we move towards data science. But yeah, in general, if you start talking about data science, it's more or less machine learning, data processing, and statistical research combined together, right? All of these combined together constitute data science. And advantage, of course, if you know data science, data analytics, data science, if you know, then definitely you are in demand. And you won't be going through boring tasks. Data science is versatile. Data science makes products smarter and lot of other things you will be able to do if you know data science, right? So what are the data science applications? A lot of applications of data science, data analytics we see in our everyday life, which includes your targeted advertising, internet search, data science for e-commerce, data science for education, data science for video streaming, etc. Lots and lots of application are there. Now, I will give you a short overview of the steps that we generally do or we generally conduct while we are working on analyzing any data or exploring a data and analyzing it. So it starts off obviously with obtaining the data. You will notice when we do the hands-on, we will be doing these steps only, right? We will obtain the data, we will scrub the data, we'll explore it, and of course, after we create things, we will interpret them, right? And once we are able to interpret data, we will have insights, and definitely that will help us in predicting things that would come, or maybe some knowledge that would help to increase or improve on our business. Industries that benefit from data science, of course, all the industries, you can say, which starts with banking and securities, media, entertainment, pharma and healthcare, education, manufacturing, retail, wholesale, government, transportation, insurance. Everyone benefits, right? Now, what we are going to do is a live demo of data analysis we will be doing. And interesting thing is, whatever we are going to do, we will be having a, a, you can say, a extra bit of implementation of AI as well. So if you are thinking about, okay, data analytics, data science, and I want to use AI for that, okay, so we will be having a section or portion of which where we will be using AI for the data analysis. So what we'll be doing today is we'll solve a simple data science problem. You can start getting if you're what we'll do, what we'll learn is we'll start like solving a data science problem, and if you can start getting freelance, and after that, of course, you can start getting freelance projects. If you can learn to do this, we will be just touching the tip of the iceberg today. But yeah, if you go on and you work on this field, definitely a lot of freelance projects also you can do, and after that, of course, that can be very helpful financially as well. Now, what we are going to deal with today is a hands-on project. It will be a very interesting data that we are going to deal with. Okay, so what we are going to deal with is an American coffee chain aims to improve marketing for expansion. We need actionable insights to guide investment in products, states, and seasons. So what we are going to do is we are going to analyze a data set, which deals with data from an American coffee chain. Okay, and what we are going to do is analyze that data and find some insights from that would help them grow their business, analyze and grow their business. So many a times what happens, we have problems in our business. The issue is we don't identify them. We are not able to identify them. That's the first problem. Now, what data analysis does is, if there is an issue in the problem, there's an issue in the business, first of all, data analysis will help you identify it. And when you know, or when you identify a business, you can solve it as well. So you can see, I'll be showing you the live data, of course. I'm just showing it to you on the slide. So we have 4 types of products that we have, that is coffee, espresso, herbal tea, and tea. And based on these 4 product types, we are having a lot of data, which can be a product, state, sales, total expenses, etc. A lot of things are coming. I'll show you the data completely. And interestingly, one more thing, if you check your chat section, you will notice that Sanket has already shared the data in the chat. So we will try to understand coffee sales for product types and corresponding products. We will also understand which product types and products sell best. Okay. And we will understand which state are responsible for the best sales, etc. And all these things. Slowly, we will explore the data and try to understand. What we'll do, we will build a dashboard for the management to see. Okay, we'll build a large dashboard, which would be obviously interactive because we'll be using Power BI. Okay, and the dashboard we'll build will be very insightful, and we will be able to draw a lot of insights from the data set. Okay, so what we will be able to answer looking at the data set would be which product has the highest sale in which region. So if we know which product is selling and where it is selling, we can arrange our logistics accordingly, right? The supply chain can be optimized so that the area which is having higher sales doesn't run out of stocks. Okay, and we can optimize things accordingly. Of course, apart from that, we will be drawing a lot of insights from the data. Okay, so for now, we will be jumping into the data set. We will be first having a look at the data set. You can also download it from the chat and have a look at the data set, and you can see. Okay, so just give me a sec. Let me open the data set for you, and we will have a first look at the data set, and slowly we will start exploring it. So we'll start analyzing it. So the data set which you have received, if you just simply double click and open it on if you simply double click and open it, you will notice that it's a very simple file, which obviously can be opened through Excel. So you can see the different columns that we are having in the data. We have a product ID, we have a product type, we have a product, that's the name of the products that you're seeing here. Then these are the type of products, okay, regular, decaf, etc. Right, just checking if you can see my screen. Give me a thumbs up if you can see the Excel sheet that I'm showing you. Give me a thumbs up if you are able to see the Excel sheet. Okay. Now, there's one more column, which is the market size. Then we have the market. If you see, we will explore all of these, don't worry. Okay, the state. And then we have a data which says budget sales. So what is the budget of the sales? How much sales are they targeting? We also have that data, budget profit, what is the target of the profit, COGS, I'll tell you what's that, the profit and the sales and the total expenses, and the date of the product sale. If you can see, we have got lots and lots of data. If I ask you, I want you to answer this. If I just give you this data, if I just give you this Excel sheet and I ask you, hey, give me the insights. Can you just look at these numbers and give me insights out of it? Yes or no? Just looking at this data, will you be able to give insights? Yes or no? Please answer in the chat. What do you think? Of course not. These are hundreds and hundreds of lines of data, which is impossible to just look at and give insights. Yeah, of course, right? So it's very, very difficult just to see the data and give insight. So what we do, we use some tools to analyze the data. I repeat, we use some tools to analyze the data. To be very honest, the most popular data analytics tool, anyone who can say the most popular, which one is the most popular data analytics tool? Who can guess? Most popular data analytics tool in the world. There would be rarely any computer or rarely any computer system that won't be having that software. I know. We are here for Power BI, but I am praising somebody else. Yes, that's Microsoft Excel. That's the most simplest and the easiest data analytics tool. But Excel has some limitations. It's very simple and very popular to analyze short data sets, small data sets, but the issue is when it comes to deeper analysis, extracting insights, Excel has a lot of limitations. So the big daddy of Microsoft Excel, or you can say the big brother, the advanced version of Microsoft Excel is, can someone say? Big daddy of Excel is, of course, it's Microsoft Power BI. You have been all saying this, right? So Power BI gives you the power to analyze the data and create visuals. We all know looking at the numbers confuses us a lot. It stresses our brain. But if you look at a visual, you will easily be able to analyze the data. So what we'll be doing, we will be not using Microsoft Excel to analyze the data. Rather, we'll be using Microsoft Power BI to analyze the data, right? So Power BI, if you are asking, okay, where can I get the Power BI? It's a very simple free tool that we have. Okay, so let me share my screen and I'll show you. If you have Power BI in your systems, great. If you don't worry. Okay, you can go and just Google search Power BI for for Windows. If you're using a Windows system, you can just simply type this. And the best part is Power BI is not just available in the Power BI website, Power BI is also available in your store. Microsoft Store, if you go, you can simply open this. This is the safest place to download any software. And the best part is you can find Power BI here as well. Power BI. Yeah, you can see this Power BI desktop. You can simply, since I already have it downloaded, so it's showing open for me. For you, if you haven't downloaded, you can simply download from here. So you can simply go to Microsoft Store and you can download Power BI, and it's completely free of cost. Such a powerful tool, and that too free of cost you are able to get. And once you click on download, then next, and you will be able to very easily, without any hustle, you would be able to download Power BI. Now, once you, okay. So for Mac, you don't have a Power BI. You have to run it on your virtual system. So Power BI is only available for Windows, right? So now, once we have downloaded Power BI, what we are going to do, we are going to open Power BI. I think I already have it open, but yeah, after you install, you will see Power BI desktop, and you can simply click on it and it will open Power BI for you. Just a minute. Let me open Power BI. So I click here and Power BI opens. So once you open Power BI, you would see a blank page like this or a welcome page like this. Okay. So you will be able to see a page like this. You don't need to do much. You can simply click on a blank report. Okay, I can understand some of you are still downloading it, but don't worry. I won't be going very fast, but I'll still try to show you the demonstration. You can go ahead and see the steps as a demonstration, and you can follow along if you are fast enough, or you can later on, you can try it on your side. So when I click on blank report, it will create a new blank page for me where I can create my my Power BI dashboards. You don't need any login. You don't need to log in to this page. But if you have a Google account, you can simply log in. No issues with that. Okay. You don't need to log in, by the way. If it says login, you can just click on the cross sign and it will it would go away. The notification would go away. Okay. Now, if you see here, this is my layout of Power BI, as you can see here. On the right-hand side, okay, on the right-hand side pane, if you see, we have got few things here. If you can see here, we have got few things. The first thing is that you've got a pane here which says data. And as of now, you can see there is no data out here. In some time, you will start seeing data out here, and we'll be using that further to create the visuals. Apart from that, you have got a visualizations pane on the right-hand side, which is very, very important because this is the place from where you will be selecting the visual that you shall be creating, right? So we'll be seeing few of them, okay? And apart from that, on the right-hand side, if you see, this out here are few options which we will be exploring, of course, but everything comes step by step. Now, since we have Power BI out here, we need some data. Very, very important point. We need some data in order to process and create the visuals or analyze the data we want to analyze. Okay, so it's very, very important we know how to load the data, because if you simply double click on the data, which you just saw a while earlier, you won't be able to open it in Power BI, right? So once your Power BI is open out here, okay, we will first have a look at the data that we are going to fetch. If you can see my screen, this is the data I want to fetch. If you can see here, this is the coffee chain simplified data. This is the same data set that you have been provided. Okay. So if I double click, it will open as a Excel file. But how do I import it? The word, very, very important. How do I import it into my Power BI? So everyone, please have a look. If you look at the data, you will notice that this is what kind of data? Is it an Excel file? If you notice, if I show you the properties, see here, this is not an Excel file. This is a comma separated value, or you can say CSV file. This is very, very important in order to identify, okay, which kind of file it is. So I just saw it is a CSV data. So in order to import the data, I will simply go click on home. And then you will see that there is an option called get data. Can you see this? There's an option called get data. I will click on the drop down. And if I slowly go down and search for CSV, I see a Excel, I see a SQL, I see a CSV here. Very, very similar actually, right? That's why I told Power BI is the big brother of Microsoft Excel. Yes. So I simply go and click on text or CSV. Once I click on that, it will open me the folder. It will open me the folder, and whichever location I have my data set, not necessarily you will be getting this folder directly opened. You can navigate into the folder where you have downloaded the dataset shared by Sanket. So you can see here, I have my dataset here. I'll simply click. The name can be different, the one I am using, but the data is the same. Okay. So I simply click on the data and I click open. So if you can see here, as soon as I click on open, I see that something is getting imported, right? So as soon as you see here, getting things imported, you can see that you have something called a delimiter comma, because it's a comma separated value. So yeah, so using that, it is able to identify the different columns. You remember the different columns we were seeing in the Excel file, right? So you see product ID, product type, etc. All these things are there. So here, it's a very common mistake which all beginners do. They click on load. No, we don't click on load. Okay. First, we need to extract the data and then clean the data. You have to clean the data. Cleaning the data, where you can do it, you can use the transform data option. Once you click on the transform data option, it will open a new window. Don't confuse, it's still Power BI, but there's a new window out here specifically designed in Power BI to clean the data, right? So cleaning the data is very important. So everybody needs to drink water, but it should be pure, right? Else you will get ill, right? So what I'm trying to say, data is very important. Using the data is also very important, but you should use cleaned data, else your insights will not be proper. All right. Okay. So if you see here, we can see the different columns. As you can see, we have the product ID. What is product ID? Let's understand the data set. Okay. So what is product ID? It is the ID given to each product. Okay. Each product will be having a product ID, and yeah, generally used in the backend. Next one is product type. The product type out here, you can see we have coffee, you have tea, you have espresso, you have herbal tea, and these are the product types. The third one is product. These are the name of the products, as you can see. amaretto, Colombian, decaf Irish cream, green tea, etc., etc. A lot of different products are there. You can see the type of product, regular and or decaf, which kind of product is there, market size. So these products are sold in different geographical location. Okay, you can see there are two different kinds of market size out here, which is major market and small market. We will understand that. And the market is central market. Apart from that, east, west, north, south, different markets are there. And these are the states in which the products are sold, you can see. Then you have the sales, budget sales, which basically means how much they are targeting to sell. Okay. Then we have budget profit. So what is the target profit that they are going to have? And we have COGS. I'll explain that. Don't worry. Profit, you can say how much sales they are doing and what is the total expenses they are having. And of course, at the end, we have the date of sale, right? So few things, if you look closely, I will zoom in for you. I hope I'll be able to zoom in. Not able to zoom in. No worries. So if you can see product ID. So on the left-hand side of product ID, if you see, there's something called 123 written. Can someone tell me what is this 123? Anyone who can tell me what is this indicating? Justin Philip, amazing, amazing, superb, superb. So this is the data type. So on the left of the column name, you will see the data type. So product ID 123, it's an integer and I'm okay with it. Okay. So if I click on this 123, you will notice I have got different data types listed for me. And this one is 123 means it's a whole number, which is fine for me. Okay. Product type, the next column, product type is ABC, or you can say this is a text, which is okay for me. Okay. Product, then type, all these are text, which are fine. Text, which is fine. Now we have something called budget sales. What is budget sales? What is the target of the sales that the company is targeting for this product? If you say this is budget sales, which is 123. What is 123? 123 is basically a whole number. Is this the correct data type? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me, is this the correct data type? Yes or no? Because this is very crucial for an analyst to understand the data type and choose the correct data type. Okay. So if you ask me, is it correct or not? It's partially correct, not 100% correct. The best option would be a fixed decimal number, because if you see this, there's a dollar sign. Why the dollar sign is appropriate? Because this is currency, money, right? This is currency. So we choose a fixed decimal number for budget sales. Okay. Now budget profit again, same story. This is money. So we go for fixed decimal again. Cost of sales, this is also currency. Profit is of course and always currency. Next we go for sales. Sales is also currency. And the last one, if you see this total expenses, this is also currency, fixed decimal number. Okay. Sometimes I will be going a bit fast sometimes. So maybe don't worry. It's okay if you're able to catch up. Else, no worries. You can follow the recordings later. Now, we want to have a look at if the data is clean or not. We changed the data type, okay, of few columns which were necessary. Now we will be checking if there is any empty cells or empty data out here if you want to check. So what will we do? We will, of course, look at it, scroll down and down and keep checking all the 4,000, 5,000 lines of data. Is that? No, you don't need to do that. So what you can do instead is you can simply go to view. You simply click on view and then you click on column quality. If you can see this on my screen, column quality. If I click on this, you can see For this product ID column, you can see valid data is 100%, error data is 0%, empty data is 0%. With just one click, you can check whether there is any null data or not. So if you go through each column, you will notice there is no empty data. It is clean in that sense. Okay. Now, if you go and click on column distribution, you will be able to see how many distinct values are there, how many unique values are there. All this analysis you can do simply by clicking on column distribution, right? Okay. Now, apart from that, we have one more option, which is very, very useful. For example, if I want to check what are the different product types, just by looking at it, will I scroll? No, you don't need to do that. You just click on product type and you click on column profile, right? Column profile. So as soon as I click on column profile, you can see that this column, this product type column, is having 1, 2, 3, 4 different options. Just by clicking on it, you can know what are the different options or what are the different data that is present out here. So here you can see the count is 1000 because of some reason. Don't worry, I will change that and show you also the full data. 0 error, 4 distinct. Okay, and these are the different data that we have. Okay, now similarly, if you can go to type, you will see there is 2 different options out here, right? So you can do a lot of analysis. Now, important thing is when you deal with real-time data, right? Real-time data will have a lot of blank values or null values. You have to deal with them. Okay. As of now, you don't have to take the pain with this data set. It is almost ready. You just need to change the data type. And once you are done, you are good to go. Okay. Now, the cleaning portion, which generally takes a lot of time with practical data sets. Okay. Just to save time, I had cleaned this earlier. There are many things that you need to clean generally, but here we didn't have much. We had just 1 or 2 things to do. We did that. And then we go to the top left, we have a home tab. And here you just simply click on the drop down and click on close and apply. So what does that mean? Close and apply. Close and apply will load the data to your Power BI. And remember, the data that is being loaded is a clean data, or you can say almost clean data. There are some more things that we'll do further. Okay. So I click on close and apply. You will see the earlier screen vanishes. The earlier screen vanishes. The earlier widget will vanish, and you can see you will go back to Power BI desktop and you will notice a change. Can someone tell me what has changed? Earlier we saw this screen. Now we are seeing the screen. What is different? Can anyone point out what is different? Yes, you are absolutely correct. Because on the right-hand side, if you see the data section, you have a data set, right? So you have a data set out here. When I click on the drop down, oh my goodness, can you see this? We have got the entire data set, the clean one, imported into Power BI, and we can do anything with that data. Of course, in Power BI, we don't do a lot of things. We create visuals, and of course, we are here to analyze the data. And that's what we will be doing. Okay, moving on. Now, if you notice closely, it's the same data that we had loaded, which we have already seen earlier. There are some minor things that we'll be changing, of course, and that will fetch us what we want to fetch. Okay. Now, on the left-hand side, if you see, and when I hover over these icons on the left, you will see something important and interesting as well. Now, the first option that you see on the top is the report view. Remember, we create visuals in the report view. I repeat, we create visuals in the report view. Okay. So whatever visuals we'll create, we'll do it in the report view. The second option that you see is a table view. Now, is that important? Yeah, sometimes we do use the table view. What will happen when I click on table view? It will show me the data set. Can you see this? My table view will show me the data set. All right. Now, moving on. We have the third option out here, which says it is the model view. Again, model view. So first one is report view. Second one is table view. Third one is model view. It will show you the data set. Since we have only one table, so you're seeing just this one schematic of this one table, which you can see here. If there would have been multiple tables, it would have shown you multiple tables and of course the connections between the different tables. We don't have to deal with connections today. Now, one more thing. Remember, whenever you want to manipulate the data that you have already loaded, if you want to manipulate data and create something new with using the data set, you generally come to your model view. Now, few things we would need. We already have good amount of data, but just to make it more and more user friendly or analysis friendly, we will be doing certain things. What we will be doing? You can see this is the budget profit, budget sales. We have something called COGS. Now, COGS is a short form for something else, which is called cost of goods sold, as in what is the costing of the goods. Or you can say how much money we have to spend to buy the goods, or maybe the raw material, or including the processing and all. That is COGS. Okay. So suppose, for example, I want to change the name of this column. I repeat, I want to change the name of this column. I can do it in multiple ways. One of the easiest and the simplest and the most basic way of doing it, when you are in the model view, you click on COGS and then you can see the name out here. Okay, you simply select it and you can give the name you want. I want to give it the full name so that it is more understandable. Cost of goods sold. Okay, so that's the name, and there you go. The name has changed. There are a few more names I want to change. You have something called total expenses. I think it should be only expenses. So that name also I change just to make it more readable, more understandable. And there is something called product type. I want a better name to that. Maybe category would be more appropriate. So there you go. So these three names I wanted to change and I have changed it. The next thing I want to do is something more important, interesting. And sorry, I missed out one. This is just type. The more appropriate name would be product type. Product type. Yeah. Now I think everything is sorted. Now, what I want to do is I want to create some new data, or I want to generate some new columns without creating columns. Yes, you heard it right. I want to create some new columns because that will be easy for me to analyze. For example, if you see, you have the profit, you have the sales, but you don't have the profit margin. So what do? I don't have the profit margin column. So what will I do? I will create some virtual columns. You are correct. I name it measures. I will create some measures. Now, important thing, if you see, I want to create profit margin measure, but if you see, there is no profit margin column. And later on, you will also notice there will be no column, but you will be having something which can be used accordingly as per your use, right? So I'll be creating few things. For example, we have sales. I want to first create a new measure, a new column, which will give me the total sales. Okay, so I'm here, sales is there. What I'll do is I will right click on the table and I will create a new measure. You just see the steps I do and later on you will realize, oh, this was so useful, right? So I'm creating a new column, a virtual column, okay, which is I right click and I click on new measure. And as soon as I do that, you will see it will give me a space where I will give it a formula. Based on the formula, it is going to create the new column. All right. So if you can see, I have got the placeholder. So I'll simply go remove this and I will write total sales. Okay. Now, what will be the formula for total sales? It will be sum. Those of you who have done Excel already or know Excel already, they would be understanding this. And technically, we call it a DAX formula. The formula I'm writing, these formulas are generally called DAX formula. But anyways, I want to find the sum of sales. So I just select the sum of sales. I close it. And there you go. Now you can see in the table, there is a new member. Can you see there's a new member out here? Okay. The name is total sales and there is a calculator symbol because it is calculated column. And again, if you go back to the table view, you still don't have the total sales, but yes, you can see a column. So this is a virtual column. This is called a measure, right? Apart from that, I will also create 3 more measures, which will be helpful for me later. I will create a total profit. You can see I'm creating a total profit, which will be, of course, the sum of the profit column. And there you can see where's profit, here's profit, close the bracket, enter. We have got 2 new members now. I will add a third member now. Third member to the table, and that will be total expenses. And again, I will do the sum. And then here I will see where is expenses. Yeah, this one. And there you go. We have got a third member. And last but not the least, I will create a new column for profit margin. Very, very important. You will see very interesting insight. Okay. So again, I'll create a new measure. But if you think about profit margin is basically profit divided by sales is the profit margin. Of course, when it is in percentage, right? So if you can see, I will do a profit margin here, which is equal to, I will use the divide formula. And then I will write total profit divided by total sales. So when I divide these two, I will have the profit margin. Can you see? So we have got 4 new virtual columns. I repeat, virtual columns, not the real one, virtual one. Okay. But this can be absolutely used as anything similar to a column. Now, there will be few more things, 2 more things I'll be creating. Please listen to this terminology. I will explain how it is helpful when I create the visuals. For now, you can just see what I'm doing. I will be creating a hierarchy. I repeat, how many of you are aware about hierarchy? Anyone? Give me a Y in the chat if you're aware about what is a hierarchy. If not, give a N. If yes, give a Y. If not, give a N. Don't worry if you don't know hierarchy. So you'll be getting a lot of value in this session. So if you keep focusing on the screen, keep seeing what all things are possible, you will get a lot of value from the 3 hours you'll be providing. So I want everyone to focus because you will rarely find things available at this level. Okay. So definitely please focus. Okay. So I'll explain you what's a hierarchy very soon. But before that, I'll show you how to create an hierarchy. So I'll be creating 2 hierarchies. I'll explain you later how to use them, where to use them, why it is helpful. Okay. So the first hierarchy I'll be creating is for the product. Okay. I'll create a product hierarchy. I will create a product hierarchy. So I'll right click on category, and the first level will be category. The second level of the hierarchy would be product. Yeah. Right? I give it a name, product hierarchy. Don't worry about it. If you're not able to understand, I will be explaining how this is helpful when I use them. For now, you can just see. So you can see there is again a new member in the table, again a virtual one. But yeah, this is product hierarchy and it has got two levels, product and category. I will create one more hierarchy again, which will be your market size. Start with market size, and the next level will be market. Don't worry, I'll explain everything. And the third one will be state. Okay. So yeah. Now this is your geographical hierarchy. Okay. So as you can see, again, a new member. Okay. Geographical hierarchy, product hierarchy, and everything is here. Now, one more thing, Power BI is very, very smart. It's a very smart tool, remember. Many things it automatically understands without you even telling them the things. But yeah, if you tell Power BI certain things, give it more information, it will perform even better. Now, if you see here in the data set, you've got a column with the name state. You can see a column with the name state. If you go here in the table, what is the state? State, it says Colorado, Florida, New Hampshire, etc. Colorado again. So these are basically the states of United States of America, USA. Okay, so the data set is based on the geographical location of US. You can see the different states of US out here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to inform Power BI, hey Power BI, this is a data which corresponds to actual states of US. So it is a geographical data. So you should be aware of it. You see, now you see just the states written here. So what I'm going to do, I'll click on advanced, I will scroll down and I will give it a data category. As of now, it is uncategorized. But what I'll do, I'll give it a data category. I'll scroll down, you see, I'll tell, hey, Power BI, this is a state or a province. You should be aware of it. Okay. So I click on state or province. You see something happened. Can someone tell me what happened? What changed? Did you see a change here? Did you see a change here? Any change? Did someone notice a change? Yes. What's the change? Can someone tell me? Yes, the logo, the icon appeared. Now Power BI is well aware that this is a data of a state, correct? So based on the data, you can give it a specific category, data category, and you will see magic happening with Power BI, right? Okay. Now, few more things, just last one thing I'll do, then we will start creating the visuals and start analyzing things. Okay. Now, as you can see, this is the model view. A lot of things we are specifying here, cleaning and specifying here. We will first go to budget profit. Can you see budget profit? If you remember what data type it was, can someone remind me what data type? What was the data type of budget profit? Can someone remind me? Anyone? Let me know in the chat. Was it decimal? It was fixed decimal, actually, to be precise, and it's a currency, right? Fixed decimal. Exactly, Rolex. So it's a fixed decimal and it was a currency. And if you see in the properties of this column, I come down. Yeah, can you see? It is currency format. Just to keep the visual look cleaner, what I'll do, I will not include the decimal places of the currency, just to make it look clean. Okay. So how many decimal places I want to see for the data? No, I want only 0. Okay. 0 decimal places. And apart from that, what currency format I am dealing with? Can someone tell me which country does this data belong to? Of course, it is US. So what is the currency format it should have? it should be US dollar, right? So I change the default into English and the currency would be dollar, United States. Okay, there you go. Now the currency has changed. What I have to do, of course, I will have to change it for all the currency that I'm dealing with. So I'll quickly go ahead. I did it for budget profit. I'm doing it for budget sales. I'll scroll down, 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 down. English, United States again. Okay, category, it's fine. Cost of, this is also currency. You will see the difference when we actually create the visuals. Remember, data cleaning is very, very important and it will consume most of your time while you are dealing with the data. So you can see I'm just going ahead, United States. Yeah, that is also done. Now there's date and there's the expenses. Expenses again, same story. I need to change that for this as well. And this will be again United States. Just a second. Yes, United States. Then we have the market size is fine. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Then profit again. So these things are very, very important. Else you will struggle when you will be creating the visuals. Hold on. United States. Okay. Profit margin. Same story. We have got 2 more to go. Okay. Expenses, 0. Come down. United States. Profit margin again. Now 1 more left after this. Last one, 0. And there you go. Now, I think we have cleaned the data properly. Okay. If at all we find any problem later, we'll come back. Don't worry. Now that we have cleaned the data, now it's time to go back and where? Because we want to create visuals. So I click on report view. Okay. Now tell me, this is the screen and these are the data. As you can see, everything is available for me. Okay. So what I'll do, the first dashboard that I create, everyone listen to me very, very carefully. The first dashboard that I create is going to be a sales dashboard. I'm going to analyze the sales. Listen to me carefully. The first thing that I'm going to create is a sales dashboard and I will analyze sales out here. Okay. What is happening, where the sales is increasing, which one is having more sales, which is having less sales. We will analyze that. So you can see I have to come to the report view. Now, the next thing that I need to do is I need to first give it a heading. Okay. Which can be done later, but I'm doing it initially just to make sure that things are very clear. So I go to insert. And in insert, you have got many options out here. You can use any of them to make it more beautiful, look more beautiful, but I'll focus on the analysis part. Beautification we can do later. So I'll click on text boxes. Okay. And I will write, maybe I'll make it size 40. And this will be sales dashboard. This is sales dashboard. I'll make it bold as well. And I'll make it this way and middle, and I'll just pull it across to the middle. Okay, I'm not doing much of beautification because we can do that later as well. I'm just giving it a heading, simple as that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my first visual. I repeat, I want to create my first visual. So I'll create a very interesting one first. Now, in order to create my visual, I need to choose which kind of visual I need. Everyone, please focus. Something very interesting is coming up. So you can see if you hover over these symbols, It's a stacked bar chart. There's a stacked column chart. There's a clustered bar chart, clustered column chart. Then you have the line chart. You have the scatter plot. What I am going to use is a map. So you must have seen visuals of the map of a particular geographical location, and the data would be plotted on it. Okay, so we will be creating a map visual. So you can see here, I'll click on map. As soon as I do that, you will see this thing appearing here, but this is completely blank. Now, how do I insert data into this blank visual? How do I insert data into this blank visual? So what I can do is I want to actually see the data of sales state-wise. So which state is having how much sales? If I want to see, I will simply go and drag and drop the sales in the location. Can you see that? Right? I'll drag and drop the sales in the location, and I will drag and drop the sales in the bubble size. So I'll drag and drop the state. Sorry if I said sales. State in the location part, because location means geographical location and the state is a geographical data. Now, if you can notice, okay, it's asking me to just upgrade this. That's fine. Can you see this? Can you see this? How many of you find this interesting? Give me a thumbs up if you find this interesting. So you can see, I never said anything. I had just told Power BI that this is a data. This state is a geographical data. It automatically tracked which state it is, and it is plotting the data in the map already. Can you imagine? And you can do tons of personalization onto this. Okay. So this is a very basic kind of data there where we are plotting the data onto our visual map. Okay. Now there can be a lot of other things that you can do. Okay. So when you click on the visual and you go to the second option out here, format your visual. Once you click on format, you will get tons of option to format your visual. You can see a lot of things are there. You can keep exploring. A lot of personalization can be done. And if you want to make it more and more interesting, you can have a 3D column layer as well. I just click on this and this becomes 3D. Give me a thumbs up if you find this interesting. Come on, I want to see some energy. Just imagine you will be, for example, you are able to showcase this maybe to your... No, 3D is not for paid. It's free version, the one you downloaded, that's it. And believe me, there are tons and tons of personalization you can do. Lots of personalization you can do. You can have the category label as well, also plotted. Look at this. It becomes more interesting. Can you see this? And more importantly, when you hover over them, it will show you the data. Don't you think this is interesting? Just think about the applications. Yes, think about the applications. And there are tons and tons of such features that we have in Power BI, free of cost. But you need to learn how to use them. That's what I want to say. Okay, I will remove the 3D one. I'll make it simpler. Okay, just to make it more simple. Okay, so this is one thing that we can do starting off. Okay, so I'll just simply make it smaller. I'll make it smaller so that, yeah, and since there's a lot of names and it's looking cluttered, I will remove this as well. I will come to them later. I can personalize them later, but I'll come to them in a while. Okay, personalize. I'm just creating the visuals first. Next thing that I'm going to create is I want to analyze the sales, how it is distributed market wise. So if you see, I'll go to the table view and see market. Okay, this is central, east, west, right? East, west, central, south. These are the categories. So I want to see which category of or which market is giving how much sales. So what I'll do, I will create a stacked column chart, or you can choose a clustered column chart. It's up to you. I will choose a stacked column chart. Okay, I will drag it here. Simple. I will drag it further, and then I will enter data into this. So this has got two axes, x-axis and y-axis. So if you can see, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. So what I want, in the x-axis, I should have the market, and in the y-axis, I should have the sales. Okay. So I simply go x-axis, I should have the market. So I can simply drag and drop the market in the x-axis and the sales in the y-axis. Sales in the y-axis. So if you can see here, I'm enlarging it just for you to see. You can see the west, center, central, east, and south. Okay. So if you notice the sales, let's start thinking, let's put our analyst hat on. Listen to me carefully. Let's put our analyst hat on and tell me the sales, is it equally distributed across the four markets? West, central, east, south, is it equally distributed, or there is a particular, or there are few markets which are giving more sales and there is a market which is not giving enough? Of course, west and central market are giving more sales and the south is weaker. South is weaker. Okay, so what I'm trying to say, just a minute, you have pointed out the right thing. Why it is still Indian currency. I think I'll go back and check sales. Okay, decimal place is 0. And here, there you see, I intentionally left it because if you notice, I forgot actually. Okay, suppose you forget, you will see the issue in the visuals. Right? Now can you see it's dollar? Right? So if you see here, you have to clean properly. Okay, if you miss something, you will face trouble later. So you can see here, south is giving lesser sales, west and central are giving good amount of sales. So there is a difference. So can someone suggest, suppose you are the data analyst and you want to give some suggestion to the management regarding, okay, the south is giving lesser sales, what can be a suggestion to the management? As an analyst, what would you suggest? If the south is giving less sales, what can be your suggestions? What can be your suggestion? Come on, let me know in the chat. What would you suggest? South is giving less sales, same product, same everything, same country, south is giving less sales. We can go for targeted promotions. Okay, good option. What else? Contingency plan. Okay, what else? Improve marketing for the south. Very good. Okay, reevaluate marketing. Very nice. So one thing I told you in the beginning, if we don't know what is the issue, we won't be able to solve the problem. So first step is knowing that there is an issue. First point is knowing that the south portion, the sales is less. The south market, the sales is less. Okay, so this is how you start thinking like an analyst. You start thinking like a consultant to a company, and that you can do once you are able to look at the data and find the issues. Okay, now this is the second dashboard we created. We'll create another dashboard. We'll create another visual where I'm going to create a clustered bar chart or stacked bar chart. You can choose any. I'll be clustered bar chart. I'll choose. Okay. And here in the y-axis, I will put the product type, I think. Yeah, product type. Where is product type? Here is the product type. In the y-axis, the product type. X-axis will be the sales. Okay. So if you can notice here, I'm just enlarging this just to show you. There are two types of product or two different variety of products. One is regular coffee, one is decaf coffee. And if you see the sales, the regular coffee sales is much, much, much higher as compared to the decaf coffee. But for example, I'm interested to know, okay, the regular coffee is having higher sales, decaf is having lesser sales, but is there any discrimination based on maybe the market in which they are getting sold? Okay, so there are 4 different markets. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to add one more parameter here. In the legend part, I am adding this, the markets. So you can see I have 4 different markets: Central, East, South, and West. Yes, definitely, definitely. Carlton, you're absolutely correct. So you can see this is regular, this is decaf coffee, and I am able to analyze the data even in a more detailing manner. Can you see Central, East, South, and West? The colors are there. So blue one is Central. So if I hover over this, you can see regular coffee in the central market is having 146, 146,517 sales. Okay, can you see this? Right. So here you see. And if you notice one more thing properly, this in the West, if you see the contribution of the sales of the regular coffee in the West market is much, much more higher. Can you see? It is much more higher. And if you see, it is less as compared, right? So you can do a lot of analysis using this. In fact, this would look much better if you make it this way, even though the sales and all everything. So you can analyze all of these things. Okay, so I'll be reducing the size and making it smaller. Okay, so it depends on you how you want to, what size you want. Okay, so you can accordingly manage it. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to do something more interesting now. The next visual that I'll be creating would be a tree map. I'll show you a tree map, how it is helpful. You must have seen it earlier as well. Okay. So I click here, the tree map. If you can see, I will drag and make it larger. And in the tree map, what I want to do is I want to analyze certain things. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll analyze the category, product category, and I want to analyze the sales, for example. Value sales. Can you see this? So if you see, there are 4 different categories as we know. There are 4 different categories of product: espresso, herbal, coffee, and tea, right? But if you see, the size of the box is different. The herbal one, which is orange in color, that has got its value. This is value. And coffee, these are almost this, right? So you can see, based on how much contribution they have to the total one, you are able to see this. Okay. Now, this is not very interesting. In fact, this would look much better if I create a pie chart for that. So let me remove this. Rather, I will create a pie chart. We must have seen a pie chart earlier. And what I'm going to do, this is the product type. Sales. Sorry, this is product type. I want product category. Yeah. Can you see this? So you have 4 products, okay? And how much is the market share of each product? You can see we have got espresso, coffee, herbal, and herbal tea and tea. And these are the market contribution. Interestingly, you have the data and also how much percentage contribution you're having. Okay. Very, very interesting. Now, we can create a lot more visuals, But what I'm going to do, it's always good to have, if you can provide, as an analyst, if you're able to provide people uh, insights just by looking at it. Just with the first look, if somebody can get some insights, it is really great. And for that, I shall be using I shall be using KPIs. I repeat, listen to me carefully. KPIs. Okay, what is KPI? Key Performance Indexes. Yeah. Okay. So for the KPIs, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use something called cards. I'm going to use cards, right? So if you see in the visual, there's an option of cards. Once I click on it, it will show here. And I will be creating some cards now. Now, the first card that I'll be creating is for the total sales. I repeat, I will be creating a card for the total sales. I've created a measure out here, which is total sales. I will drag and drop. So if you can see the total sales, if you can see, it is 820K US dollars, right? So these are cards. This will be fixed values out here on the top. Okay. So let me show it to you. Okay, fine. I can drag this side so that things are easier to put. Okay, we can resize it anytime, so that's not a problem. So this is the card for the total sales. The next card I shall be creating, is total profit. Now, profit is something everyone is interested to see. How much profit? How much is profit? Money, profit. Okay, so I'll be creating one more card, which will be again card, and this will be here, and I'll be dragging and dropping the value. Now you see total profit. Okay, as you can see here, total profit. I can resize them and place them accordingly, according to my requirement. Okay, now the third thing, again, profit is important, but expenses, tracking the expenses is also important. So what I'll do, I'll have one more card here, and I will be creating the card for the total expenses. So you can see I don't need to juggle or do anything because I had created these measures, which are pretty handy, and these are very useful, as you can see. Okay, so you have your total sales, total profit, total expenses. 3 things are there. And one more thing I will be having is my profit margin. You remember we created profit margin, right? So what's the profit margin? Again, I will create the dashboard. In the dashboard, I will be creating the profit margin KPI. So it's showing 0. Okay. Let me try it again. Okay, hold on. I will be fixing this in some time. I'll come back. Okay. Okay. For now, if you can see, you have these visuals created, these KPIs already ready for us. But if you want it to be more and more interactive, we use something called a slicer. I repeat, we use something called a slicer. Now, how will we use the slicer? Let's see. Okay. So when I use a slicer, okay, I use the slicer, and I'll be using a market size as a slicer. So if you see here, I have got this slicer. This is very similar to the e-commerce website where we put filters and slicers. Okay. So this is a slicer. If you see, if I click on major market, can you see I click on major market? So you see the data that we are having is for the major market only. If I click on small market, the data that you can see is for the small market only. Okay. So you can pick and choose which data you want to see. So this is not the only slicer I would have. I will have one more slicer again. Okay. So I'll go ahead and I will have one more slicer here. So this is the slicer. I'll have one more slicer, and this time it will be product type, the type of product. Okay. So if you remember, we had two different type of product. One is regular coffee, one is decaf coffee. So if I want to check the what is the data based on regarding the decaf coffee, if you can see, once I click on decaf, the data changes. This is the sales, this is the profit, this is the expense. And if I click on regular, this is the data for the regular coffee. Okay. We can have one more. I think the product category, we can have one more so that it becomes complete. Okay. So if I go ahead and where is the product category? Category, yeah. Here's the category. There you see. Okay. So for only coffee category, if you want to see the data, this is the data. For espresso, if you want to see the data, this is the data. Herbal tea, you want to see the data, this is the data. Tea, you want to see the data, this is the data. Now you must be thinking, okay, what if I want to do multiple selection? Can I do multiple selection? Yes, you just press the control key and you can do multiple selection. Okay. There can be lots and lots of variations put into this. So don't worry. We'll go step by step into it. Okay. And yeah, we can have one more. We can have one more slicer, which I'm very tempted to put. So I'll have one more slicer, and that will be based on the states. So yeah, there you go. All the states are there. I'll just put it this side for the time being. This is not the right place to put, but yeah, just to show you, I'm putting this here. Oh, a lot of states are there. Anyways, so if you want for Florida, data for Florida. If you want for Nevada, data for Nevada. If you want Oklahoma, data for Oklahoma. There you go. Interesting. Give me a thumbs up if you find the slicers interesting and useful. These are live dashboards which you can create, and these are very, very useful. Now, if you can see, this is a very long one, right? The state one is a very long one. What I want to do, I want to change how it looks. Okay. So what I'll do, I will format this a bit. And instead of having a vertical list, I'll make it a drop down. There you go. It's a drop down. So I'll put it here. Now it is easy for you. You drop down and you select New Hampshire. There you go. So it doesn't consume a lot of space. When you use a drop down, it doesn't consume a lot of space in my dashboard. Okay. A lot of other different options are also there. So yeah, we will explore it step by step. Right. Okay. We had an issue with the profit margin. I think there was some mistake in that. So I'll go back and I will check profit margin. Okay. Let me remove it and create it again so that if there is any issue, I will be able to solve it. So I'll create a new measure again for profit margin. So profit margin would be profit margin equals I'll have a divide, and I'll be dividing. It will be total profit. Just a second. Profit margin equals divide. Numerator will be okay. No worries. We'll come back later to this, but we'll do it. Don't worry. I'm removing this for now. We'll come back to it later. Okay. So as you can see, this is the first dashboard and this is the sales dashboard. So you see few things that we are having some issues with the data when it comes to how much sales each of them is producing. And I think one more is missing. One more we can put out here. One more visual we can put out here. Okay, sorry, it's already there. So sum of sales by category, if you see. So category wise, 21%, 27%, 26%, 25%, which is okay, which is okay. So this is the first one, first dashboard that we create. You can definitely beautify it more and more and make it look more and more presentable. It is up to you. Now, one last thing I will be creating on the sales side. I will be creating. Okay, I can go back here itself. Okay, so if you see here, the data that we are having on the basis of category, if you remember, we had created a hierarchy. Remember a hierarchy we had created. Okay, so what I'll be doing, I shall be coming to the new page and I shall be creating a column chart again. But this time in this column chart, remember in this column chart, earlier I had category in the x-axis and sales in the y-axis, right? Okay, so I was able to see this, right? Now, one more thing, what I can do, I can have the products in one category. I will create one more visual. Okay. I will have product in one category. This is very, very important. Please focus everyone, and sales in another. Okay. So these are the products and sales. So can I combine the two and put it into a single visual? How many of you can tell me how can I have both two visuals in one? Anyone, any suggestions? Anyone can tell me how okay, just tell me, can I have two visuals in one? Is that possible? Yes or no? Yes for why? No, N for no, of course. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let me try. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this. And here in this, I'm not going to have category. What I'll do, I'll use the product hierarchy. Can you see this? Everyone, have a look. This is the first visual. Now, interestingly, you will see here I have the product hierarchy in the x-axis, which is your category, and then you have the product. Sorry. So first level is category, second level is product. If you remember, we had created this hierarchy. First level is category, second level is product. Now, what I can do is, for example, I have coffee, espresso, then herbal tea and tea. What I can do, I can just click on this drill down. You will see this will become black. And then of the coffee category, suppose I'm interested to just see what's happening in the coffee category only, nothing else. If I'm interested for that, so I'll click on this symbol and I'll click on coffee. Look at this, right? What you are seeing is the data of the coffee category only. See, these are coffee category only. If I want to go up, I go up. I want to see just espresso. I click on drill down, espresso. Can you see? Only espresso data. I want to go up. Okay, you say, okay, fine, Amrish, I want to see everything together. No worries. I remove the drill down. I click here. Can you see? So in one visual, you have data for both. Give me a Y in the chat if you find this interesting, or give me a thumbs up if you find this interesting or find this useful. Give me a thumbs up if you find this useful. Yes, 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 yes. Similarly, there are many more visuals that can be created. Just before we move on to the next dashboard, because we are running short of time, okay? So before going to the next dashboard, I will be showing you one more very, very interesting one. Yes, every customization can be done. I'm not getting into the customization part yet, okay? Maybe if you get some time in the end, I will show you some more customization, or tons of customization can be done, coloring and all. Okay. Now, what I'll be showing you now is a very, very interesting visual, which is called a decomposition tree. I repeat, it's called a decomposition tree. In the decomposition tree, I'll click on the visual, and as you can see, this is my decomposition tree. Here, what I want to analyze, I want to analyze the sales, because we are doing the sales analysis first. So I'll analyze sales. I'll drag and drop the sales in analyze. And then I want to analyze it on the basis of course, the market size. I want to analyze on the basis of market, on the basis of state. I want to analyze. I want to do it on the basis of category. I want to do it on the basis of product. With the product. Yeah, product. Now the total sales is around $819,811. Okay. Now I want to decompose this, and I want to see the split. I want to see the split. Okay, I want to split the sales on the basis of market size. So if you can see here, on the basis of market size, can you see the split? Total sales, major market is this, small market is this. This is the sales in the major market, this is the sales in the minor market, small market. Now I want to see, again, I want to split the major market. I want to split the major market on the basis of the different markets that are there. The central, east, west, and south. Can you see this? Right? So if you see, central market is having the highest sales. Next is east, next is west, next is south, and these are the sales. Now I want to further split and see in the central market who is the highest contributor. Right? Who is in the central market? There would be many states. Which state is the highest contributor? Okay, so I select state. So in the central market, there are 3 states. Illinois is having the highest contribution. Again, I know what you're thinking. In Illinois, which product category is the highest contributor? I want to further analyze. So there you go. Look at this. Espresso, then coffee, then herbal tea, then tea. Right? Right? Further, in the espresso product category, Which one is the highest contributor? Which product is the highest contributor? There you go. Just imagine showcasing this to the stakeholder of the company for which the data you're analyzing. Don't you think the stakeholder would be impressed with the way you break down the data? Isn't it? So this is the power of Power BI. That's why it's Power BI. It makes you more powerful. This you cannot do in Excel. Of course, a lot of things can be done in Excel, but this is superb. Okay. So I can tell you 50 more visuals, which can be more and more interesting. But since we are running short of time, we just have some more time left. So we will be covering one more visuals. So how many of you are excited for one more dashboard? This was one dashboard which was based on sales, and you saw what are the issues and what are the you saw what is happening. Okay, you saw what is happening. Now what we are going to do is we are going to dissect the problem and find the root cause. Why the sales are down, or maybe we'll try to understand a very, very important thing, because we saw that in the sales dashboard, we saw West is giving a lot of sales. South is not giving a lot of sales in terms of revenue. But what we are going to do is a profit dashboard, because end of the day, it doesn't matter how much sales you do. If you're not making profit, it makes no sense. Now we are going to dissect into the profit section of it. Okay. And we are going to analyze, is there enough profit? We'll try to analyze. Okay. So this one was the first one. You can say this is our sales dashboard. This is sales dashboard 2. I'm not giving it any name because I'm not designing it, but still then sales dashboard 2. Okay. The third one that I'm going to do is a profit dashboard. Okay. So we'll go for a profit dashboard now. So I'll simply go and click a box and I'll write profit dashboard. So it'll be a 40, bold, and drag this, resize it, make it black in color. Yeah. Okay. All right. So in the profit dashboard, we'll quickly go through because many things you already know. All right. So yeah. So here we'll start off with the first visual. We will do analysis, how much profit each category of product or each product type is generating. So we'll simply go for this. Okay. So this is a stacked column chart. Okay. So this is a stacked column chart, and I will be having the product category. I could have gone for product type, but yeah, I'll go for that as well later. But this is product category, and I'll be analyzing profit, not sales. Okay. So I'll be analyzing profit. So in the y-axis, there is profit. Now, if you see closely, coffee is giving me the highest profit. Espresso is giving me profit, but next to coffee, then herbal tea, and then tea. Okay. So this is the ascending order. Right. Now, I want to look at few more things again. I want to also see how is the profit based on the two different product types. So I will simply go and I will create a clustered bar chart. I'll have the product type is the product type in the y-axis, and profit in the x-axis. Profit in the x-axis. Is my volume too low? Or am I audible? Give me a thumbs up if I'm audible. Give me a thumbs up if I'm audible. Okay, cool. So if you can see, based on the product type also, if you can see, this is regular coffee, this is decaf coffee, and regular coffee is giving more profit than decaf coffee. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it one notch higher, and in the same visual as that of the profit, apart from the profit, I'm also going to show the sales. Okay. So in my first one, I was only showing profit. Now I will also add in the y-axis, I also have the profit. And if I make it, there you go. So I'm just zooming in to show you one thing. If you pay attention to detail, if you're able to see this, if you can see, my coffee is giving me a total sales of $216,000 approx, and giving me a profit of 74, giving me a profit of $74,000, right? But if you see espresso, it is giving me a sales of $222,000, almost $223,000, and giving me a profit of $68,000. So can you tell me which one or which category of product is more profitable? Anyone? Coffee or espresso, which is more profitable? If you see again, espresso, $223,000 in sales, giving me a profit of $68,000, and coffee, the sales of 216 only, giving me a profit of 74,600. So which one is more profitable? Yeah. Yes, coffee is more profitable. Okay. So this is a very minute detail, but this can be further dissected and we can actually explore a lot of things. Okay. So yeah. So we have two dashboards out here. Sorry, two visuals out here. This is the first one. I'll do the same for the second one as well. Okay. Apart from just having the profit, I will also have the sales out here. So if okay, I'll also have the sales out here. So you can see this one again, on the basis of sales, if you see, regular is higher, profit is also comparatively higher, and for this is also there. Okay. So there you go. We have two visuals already based on profit. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have another plot. Apart from these, I'll have one more plot that is called a scatter plot. Scatter plot is again very, very interesting, very easy to analyze when you're doing a comparison. Okay. So I have a scatter plot, and in the scatter plot, let me show you. In the scatter plot, we will be having a comparison of sales versus profit, of course. So we'll have the sales in the x-axis, profit in the y-axis, and the size of the bubbles will be based on the expenses, and we will have the product category as the legend. Can you see this? Okay, let's have the expenses. So if you see here, you will be able to see something very, very interesting. Now, I want you to analyze this. If you can see, this is the bubble for the tea category. This is the bubble for the herbal tea category. This is the bubble for the coffee category, and this is the bubble for the espresso category. Okay. So the x-axis that you're seeing, x-axis, if you notice here, this is your sum of sales. So this is your sales. The more you go on the right, the higher the sales are. And this is your profit. The higher you go on this y-axis, the higher the profit. So can you notice something from this visual? I want you to analyze this and give me an inference. Just analyze this and give me an inference. What do you mean by inference? What are you able to see? Is there something noticeable? Is there something that you are able to notice, seeing the visual and come to some conclusion about which product is more profitable? Coffee is more profitable because I think this is coffee, and this is espresso, if I'm not wrong. So if you see, the bubble is lower, the espresso bubble is lower than the coffee bubble. And if you see on the sales side, the sales is higher in espresso. It is lower in coffee. Yet the profitability is higher. I hope all of you tell me, is this an easier way to analyze as compared to the one we did earlier? Give me a yes or no. Is this easier to analyze? Give me a yes or no. Give me a Y if you think this is easier. Right? Looking at the scatter plot is easier. It's always easier. Okay? Nice. Now, in this profit dashboard, what we are going to add is one more visual. Rather, I would say two more visuals would be suitable. Okay, well, let's add one more visual. Is we are going to add a gauge plot. I'm going to say what's a gauge plot. Okay, we are going to use a gauge plot where we are going to analyze how much target has been fulfilled. Listen to me carefully. Those of you belonging to the sales background, you must be knowing that we get a sales target for the month, and based on how much we accomplish or we do overachievement, based on that, our incentives are fixed. Okay, incentives we get. So what I'm going to do is going to use a gauge plot. And in this gauge plot that you will see, this is again very, very interesting. It's a very interesting one. Okay, so you will notice that there are two columns out here which says budget profit, budget sales. What do you mean by budget profit? Budget profit means the target of the budget, that the company has fixed. The target of the profit that the company had fixed for a particular product is the budget profit, and how much they have achieved is the profit. So what I'm going to do is, for the target value, I'm going to drag and drop the target budget profit, and for the value, I'm going to use just the profit. So in this case, if you look closely, the target is 260, and what the company is already achieving is 259, which is almost the same as what they have achieved. So what I'll do, I'll simply add a slicer just to show you how it works. I'll just add a slicer here where I am thinking to add the product market, or maybe the states. This would be interesting. Okay, so if you see, keep an eye on this visual. Okay, in California, you can see the target was something, and what they have achieved is lesser. In Colorado, they have achieved almost what was the target. And if you can see, in Connecticut, they have achieved more than what was their target. Okay, so and you can see all the different states, and you can see what has been achieved as compared to what was the target. Okay. Does this look useful? Give me a thumbs up if you think this gauge plot looks useful. It can be a very good KPI indicator for your performance. All right. For your performance, this can be a very good KPI indicator. So maximum value also, I think I can put this. Yes. So there you go. Okay. So you can just have a very good understanding of how things are. Okay. So yeah, you can go on and on this and create more and more visuals. Okay. So what I'll do for this, I will make it a drop down so that it is easy to place. Yeah. And I will again create some more, you can say, if there are more parameters to compare, yes, you can. For 2 parameters, you can use this. If you have more parameters, you use different other visuals can be used in that case. Definitely, you can do that. Okay. So these are the few dashboards. I can add some more slicers. If you can see here, I will add some more slicers. This slicer, this one is for state. I'll have one for category. And I will have one for category and maybe product type. I will have one. Yeah. Okay. Similarly, I can have the KPIs on the top. The few KPIs that I would add is first one in the profit dashboard. What will be useful? The first one, of course, is the total profit. This one would be very useful. The next one can be total profit. Total expenses can be the next one that is useful. The next one that can be useful is again profit sales. I can have the sales, I can have the total expenses. I can have the total expenses. I think I did the total expenses already. Okay. So I think these two would be enough for the thing. Okay. Now you can add more visuals, make it more interesting, and you can use your imagination for creating more and more visuals. Okay. All right. So till now, I have covered the sales dashboard, okay, where we did a lot of interesting things, extra section of sales. And the third one was the profit dashboard. Third one, as I said, it was the profit dashboard, right? So these three. Now, what I'm going to show you is something more interesting. Give me some time, just a minute. For those of you who are interested to see what personalization can be done, give me a second. So what personalization can be done? So I'm saying simply there's no limit to the personalization that can be done using Power BI in the visuals. Okay, so just let me. Okay, this is the one already. So I'll show you a complete dashboard which has been completely personalized, and a lot of things would already be there. Just waiting for Power BI to load. It's not a small software, it's a very heavy one. So it takes some time to load. All right. I think I'm lucky enough. I am able to show you. Okay, if you're asking me what's the level of personalization that can be done, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Guys, can you see my screen? Yeah. So there can be tons of things that can be done. You can insert images, you can insert different visuals, you can show a line chart, this, that. A lot of things are possible. How many of you would love to learn how to create this level of dashboards? And do you think it will be useful for your future, useful for your career? Give me a Y in the chat. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a Y if you are interested to learn how to create such beautiful dashboard which are interactive, which are interesting, which makes a lot of sense for the business. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're thinking to become an entrepreneur, you can maintain your own data all by yourself. If you're working for any organization, you can definitely go ahead and create such dashboards. If you're thinking of going freelance, that is also a very good opportunity because every business is looking for of analyzing data, and there will be a lot of opportunity for you. Okay. All right. So if you remember in the beginning itself, I told you one thing. If you remember, I told you one thing that I shall be, just a second. Let me just open this. Yeah. Before going in, I shall be using a dashboard, which if you can see, it's on the same data set. If you can notice, it's on the same data set. Okay. So if you see, I do have an extra thing out here that is a profit margin. Yeah, can you see this profit margin? Okay, this was one that was a bit glitchy in my dashboard that we created live. But yeah, here you can see the profit margin. So if you see, this is for the whole data that we are having. Okay. So if you see for the decaf, coffee, if you notice, the profit margin is 30.71%. And if you see for the regular coffee, it is 32.36%. Okay, very near to each other, but still then there is a difference. Now, if you see for the central market, the profit margin is 35%. Do you notice this? For the central market, it is 35%. For the east market, it is 33%. For the south market, it is 31%. And for the west market, it is only 27%. Rolly, yeah, I think you are correct. Maybe I had missed it. Thanks for noticing. So if you can see, so tell me, company is more profitable selling in which region, which market do you think? Is it central or is it west? Is it central? Is it west market? Of course, central market is giving you a lot of, like the central market is giving you more profit as compared to the west market. Okay, so there's a comparison of central and west market. You will see central market will give you more profit. Now, if you see, this is a dashboard, which is, you can say, on the same data set that we were working on. This is another dashboard, if you can see. So we have the sum of sales, sum of profit, total expenses, etc., etc. And you can see all the different data that we are having. Okay. Yeah, very similar things that we had already created, if you can see here. Okay. Okay, I'll just create one last visual for you, just to giving a closure on a few things. That will be your, if you see all the icons out here, there will be one icon that's called a Copilot. How many of you have heard of Copilot? And if anyone can tell me what's a Copilot? Anyone can tell me what's a Copilot? Yeah, it's an AI. Okay, not exactly an AI agent, but yeah, it's AI. Generative AI, you can say. So what I'm going to do, if you have heard about ChatGPT, ChatGPT gives you, if you ask it a question, it will answer you something. Okay, precisely, yeah. So Copilot is, you can say it's the ChatGPT from Microsoft. And the interesting thing about Microsoft is, Microsoft has integrated Copilot to all its tools. So if you can see here, Copilot is integrated to my Power BI. And what I can do is I can use Copilot to create Power BI dashboards. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to write, like Gemini of Google, correct. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write a very simple prompt and ask it to create a dashboard for me. Right? I will use Copilot to create a dashboard for me. You saw so much effort we put in order to create everything. So I hope so. Copilot works and we are able to create a dashboard. Okay. So let's go ahead. Create an executive dashboard for the sales data in the data set. Okay. I'm giving a very simple prompt. I'm not giving a lot of detailing. Okay. So I'll just write this and I will hit enter. And I will wait for Copilot to do the job for me. Okay. So it's a bit glitchy because it's very newly integrated to Power BI. I was getting good responses yesterday, but anyways, I'll try one more. Create a pie chart for the sales distribution across different product category. Did something happen? Oh my goodness, something happened. If you remember, we had created this visual earlier, but it was done manually by me. Okay, as you saw, you can see that I instructed Copilot to do it for me, and I think it was done pretty well. No issues with the visual. I don't need to even touch it, right? Can you see this? Okay. I will give it one more prompt. Add a slicer to the dashboard with, add a slicer to the slicer. Add a slicer to the dashboard to, okay, dashboard based on the states, based on the state. Okay, I want a slicer based on state. Oh my God. Oh my God. Can you see this? I've got a slicer based on the state. Can you see this? Right? Yes, it's already dropped down. If you remember, we had to first set it, then change it to drop down. It's already dropped down. Right? Okay. Create a scatter chart comparing the sales versus profit based on product category. I hope it doesn't catch the spelling mistake. I hope it works for me. There you go. You see a scatter plot out here, right? Based on the category, it is giving a comparison of sum of profit versus sum of sales. All right. So if you think this is interesting, Copilot is interesting. There are a lot of things that can be done using Copilot. You can even clean data using Copilot, and many more things are possible.